Thank you. I missed not Halloween, Thanksgiving. Jeez, man. But Lord willing, I'll be here for Christmas. So
Welcome back. Welcome home.
I got my partner, one of my partners in crime. She's back.
Greetings. Bloom in the house.
Bloom.
Greetings. Good to see everyone.
Yes, this is a special podcast. We have some guests, and this is my mission here to get some new folks on the show, so to say.
Yes.
You know, our regular tribe will be back. We got another episode coming on later, which we've been working on for like 3 weeks. We finally, hopefully, will get it right tonight, knock on wood. But I've been trying to get this man here for quite some time now. I've known his daughter for about, 7 years now?
Around that.
Yeah, about 7 years. Griselle with an S, Griselle. I don't tell people how we met. No, I'll just tell you how we met. It's no big thing. We met at the Harborside Event Center. You was working at the Harborside for the city of Fort Myers.
Back in 2012, I think is
Yep.
when we met.
That was back when I was doing my ratchet rap shows, you know, and that was when I was living in the world. So that was 7 years ago. So you've been telling me about your pops. He is the man of the hour, so to speak. But before we get started and introduce your father, we always start by talking about the show. This is episode number 12.
All right.
Episode number 12. So we start off by telling our listeners, you out there, and thank y'all for tuning in. If you found us, it was meant for you to find us. Our energy is on the same vibration length. So with that saying, the number 12 is a number of polarity. When you see angel number 12 appearing, it is likely a message from your guardian angels to remain optimistic about the future, as you are likely on the verge of some positive changes in the near future. So with that being said, to all my numerologists out there, 1 + 2 = 3. So let's see what the number 3 means. We got to break it all the way down, right? Because we got the 12/12 portal tomorrow. It's a big thing. A lot of people talking about it. We got actually a full moon too. And the peak of the moon is supposed to be at 12/12 tomorrow. Interesting enough. So hey, I didn't make this stuff up, man. The universe does what it wants. I'm just the conduit to get this information out to y'all. So let's break down the number 3, and then we're gonna get this podcast rolling. It symbolizes the interconnectedness of your body, mind, and spirit, and it is carefully aligned with the divine energy. If you keep seeing 3, this indicates that the angels surround you and waiting for your success. The angel number 3 is also the sign that your psychic gifts and abilities are opening up and developing. Interesting. So
That's the Trinity.
I think psychic gifts is we're going to talk about that on the next podcast. We're going to get into some tarot and some psychic and some intuition type of stuff.
Absolutely.
But we have a different type of guest. I don't want to introduce you. I want to let y'all
Oh boy.
Yes, I want to.
Right,
I want to let you introduce. This is your father. This man came all the way from South America to Southwest Florida to hang out with us, and I know he's got some good stuff. He's a fellow healer, and I think me and Rashim are going to talk about our experience because he actually gave us some healing experiences. Me yesterday and her just before the podcast. So we're going to give our testimonials, and as Mike always tells me, there's no better promotion you can get from anyone than someone's testimony of the experience itself. So we're going to talk about that. So without further ado, all the way from Peru, from
Welcome.
South America, que paso, amigo?
Hi, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you, Jason, for the opportunity. Yes, I came back to America after 5 years. No, my specialty is for energy, body energy. So I started learning about this about 15 years ago. So was a very nice history about my growing, how every time I learn more and more, confront people sick. I flew to my country and
So
the thing happened, hospital opened the door to me. I started talking, sharing information with doctors over there.
He actually at one point had a hospital give him a room, like a consult area, in the actual hospital, which would be completely, you would never see that here
No,
Right.
in this
no,
country.
never.
It's more of a holistic, they're a lot more open-minded in South America and Peru. So, yeah, I think, flying over there, he really grew and was able to learn so much about what he practices and the type of healing he practices that
Yeah.
it was a lot harder to do that here.
Oh yeah, he could unfold and just naturally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, right now, today, the science how you say, este, develado muchos misterios about the energy. So the science understand better what the energy is.
Science
how
is
it
catching
works.
up to
Science
nature.
is correct. Yeah.
God creation.
Understands energy more now than in the past.
So every time I learning more how the energy work. It's like the more powerful energy in the universe is love,
Absolutely.
being compassion. And compassion. Do you remember Albert Einstein?
Albert Einstein.
Long time ago, when he was young, he discovered and he write to his daughter, explaining keep this letter and hold and just let go many years after I die. Because it's the scientific don't understand me very good about the theory of the relativity theory.
The theory of relativity.
The theory of relativity.
Is I tell them the energy love is real and I had the formula.
So he wrote a letter to his daughter and said, hold this letter until after I die. I have the formula of love.
They are
The
going to
actual
think
scientific.
Albert Einstein said that?
Albert
Oh yeah,
Einstein.
just look for the letter. Albert Einstein and the love explanation of what love is. Albert Einstein said the energy is real. So what happens when you give a therapy to somebody? It's the love. Your patient you put to help your brother, your sisters. So that's energy you create, make a transformation in the, I believe it's the water molecule, la molecula del agua.
So just to kind of rewind and maybe give an explanation of what
Just
he does before this is he goes off on tangents, so I gotta pull it back. So what he does, he's an emotion code practitioner, right? Is that how you say that? So a certified emotional code practitioner. So in life, from the time that we are in the womb, in our mother's womb, throughout when we're 5, 6, 7, teenagers, adults, we feel emotions. So we'll have thoughts, we'll have things that happen that create emotion. Well, that emotion is an energy. Energy doesn't disappear.
It cannot be recreated nor destroyed, simply transformed. Man, I am tongue twisted tonight.
So
I don't know if Albert Einstein said that. Somebody made that up.
It's a many things the people don't know.
So when you have this energy that you feel, maybe abandonment or people who their fathers left their life, so they have this feeling of abandonment, that energy will stay almost cocooned or encased in parts of your body and organs of your body. And so a lot of times when we grow up and we say we have this disease or cancer or whatever, a lot of times it's that energy that has been encased in your body that is creating the symptoms that we know are the diseases. And so the type of healing work that he does is he releases those energies from your body. So when he talks about energy and he talks about love as energy, it all stems from energy that is being trapped in your body.
Well, that's all the body is, other than water, is energy.
That's
it's
what
our
everything
spirit.
is. That's what life is. Energy. So energy in motion creates emotions. Yes.
Correct. And it's funny because I was watching a video today, randomly we talking about energy. This guy was saying how basically we're not even going to need to pay for electricity in the near future because basically the government's been lying to us this whole time. And what Tesla was doing before he left is he was, and Einstein and these type of guys, they was already leaving codes that we can be self-sustainable with other alternatives of energy. So it's interesting. This is all about to come out as the veil thins, is people can't run and hide for much longer. So.
I mean, ultimately, everyone has to realize that we are the energy, we are the life force, we are the source, we are tuned in. So ultimately, I think everyone has abandonment issues because everyone abandons themselves. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know that you're energy, if you don't know that you are of divine love, everyone suffers. You're not aligned, and so everyone has abandonment issues because we've all abandoned our home.
We've all had our heart broken. We've all had sadness. It's part of the growing pains, I guess, so to speak, that make us who we are. So, but I enjoyed the experience because he told me some things that I would have definitely never probably known. I mean, like you said, we talked about abandonment. I've had tarot readings where in my past life I was a orphan and abandoned, so I kind of already had that sense without even really, delving deep into the subconscious brain. So you told me something about spirits, and then like I didn't never really look at it as like energy still stored in our body. I just looked at it like it's an experience, but now I look at it a little bit different, like it's actual like stagnant energy that affects our health. And it makes sense because we see people's life patterns recycle and recycle, like even like my father, you know what I'm saying? Like his father, like his father, like basically he left the family when he was 15 because he didn't get along with his father. Then that carries over, but we have to break these cycles at some point in time. And that's when you really become free. Right, that's when you become free. That's what I think. Because it definitely goes into relationships. I've had my share of those cycles and tried to sit down and break them too. So I know what you mean about energy.
But it's the first relationship, which is the relationship with self. Like everything starts with self.
Definitely, beginning. So you want to talk about our experiences, or we want to talk a little bit more about...
Is there something else you wanted to add before we got into that?
Well, no, let's hear it.
Okay, so my experience, I mean, what he does is different. I've had Reiki healing before. I've been on the body frequency tuning table before. And your father's skill, I guess I could say is the right word, is definitely different than anything I've experienced. He does things, his approach is a little different. Like I'll just put it out there because I want y'all to experience this.
And I can explain it too.
Yeah, he works with people's feet, which kind of threw me off a little bit. And I want him to explain that because usually when people do Reiki healing, they kind of just walk around you and push your energy from different parts of your body to other. That's different what he does. He tries to actually remove that energy completely out of the body, correct?
So your body has the ability, or has a smart response capability. So, and it's kinesiology in essence. So he, with your feet, when you are aligned, your feet are even. And this is actually something where maybe after the podcast we can go back in the room and actually show you on each other. But your feet, depending if you're not aligned, so if it's something that your body responds that yes, this is an ailment or this is something that you have, you will actually see your foot shift. One will go shorter. And when he asks the next question and it's not an affirmative answer, it'll go back even. So your body has a self-response, a smart responsibility to answer. And that's how he asks. So he has a chart that has a lot of these ailments already kind of listed in quadrants, where a lot of these ailments, like depression or nervousness, will find themselves in your spleen or in your heart. So he kind of has a chart that he goes through to help him make sure he hits all those quadrants. And he's asking your body, and your body is telling him.
Body language.
Yeah.
They call the one scientific from NASA had to be in this discovery. They call it the smart answer of the body. The smart answer of the body. When you say yes, you create some vibration, energy vibration. Okay. When you say no, it's a different one. So that's why from this discovery they create the polygraph. How do you say polygraph?
Polygraph test.
The lie detector. So the pendulum.
All of that.
Yes, no.
Yes.
So it's the smart.
And there's a lot of ways you can do it. Like I've seen people where you put your ring finger or your index finger in your thumb and you do one of these.
Yeah, the kinesiology.
Yeah.
Muscle test.
Yeah, so if
If
the
it
answer is no,
releases,
it releases.
yeah.
If it's yes, it stays. You can do like you put your arms up and you try to push your arm down. There's a lot of ways to do it. Easier for him because the person having the session can relax and lay down and listen to some meditative music, and so it's a better approach for him to use the feet.
50% of this therapy is science.
Science.
Okay. The other 50% is canalus gut.
Channel,
You need
the
help from the
channel.
master. I don't cure. Nobody cure. You can cure yourself. When the body is in good vibration, you don't need drugs. You have the right pharmacy in your brain creating chemicals So you have to be happy. You have to be in love if you want to be healthy. So, but
Yes, love is the answer.
the healers, when like I see, the people get involved in this, try to help people and learning how the energy work. Just we are a canal, really who fix you.
A channel.
They are the masters, you know. They come down. Every time I open the canal, I pray for you. They come. They're coming around and they feed you.
Any particular other than God you communicate with? Like when you say your masters, like do you have names for them? Like Archangel Michael, like Raven has names for her gods.
That is a history. One day I'll be put in the book.
He's writing a book.
Planning to write.
Oh, you're gonna say that for the book?
My master, they are. I get the message from the Siberians.
Siberians.
Yeah. And I have a lot of things, but I don't want to talk about it.
Sometimes even my brain can't process it all.
It's a journey. When you're on a spiritual awakening journey, is you can't really put because it happens so fast. It's hard to comprehend.
Well, because people are trying to make something
Sense of
spiritual and put it in a mind, and the mind is that's not. Those are two different realms.
So let me ask you this: when did you said you've been to Peru 5 years? When did you know that this was your gift and you're part of being a healer? How many years have you been on that path, and what made you want to switch to that path of being a healer versus whatever you were doing before that?
What's about 8 years?
8 years?
Yeah, 8 years I started thinking what's going on here, because too many things start changing in me. I turned into be more spiritual. And
I think his journey was more of a
gradual.
He was introduced to a friend who introduced him to Nikan, which is a whole other podcast. So let's not even dive in there because we'll be here for 3 hours. And then from there he met a healer who practiced biomagnetic therapy. So kind of like taking acupuncture points and putting the positive and negative magnets. What it does is creates a neutral pH in your body in the area, and therefore no bacteria, no illness can exist in that. So introduced to that realm, and I think from that point, lo del biomagnetismo, eso te introdució a otra. That
What
kind
the
of
first-
entered him into.
what's the first knowledge? What happens is my perception is very strong. So I can detect what is true and what is not true. So it's a technique, a par biomagnetic, with two magnets. Do you know that? The par bio? Okay. You can erase the pH of the body. So you have any bacteria or virus in the liver, with the kinesiology we detect, we put a point of magnets, and we force the pH of the water of the body to go high, to be neutral. In neutral, no virus, bacteria, pathogen can live.
How do you move the body from the bottom of the water to the higher points of the
You
body?
have a positive and negative magnet, and so your body, your cells are
Positive and
magnetic.
negative.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about the experience I had yesterday,
electromagnetic.
and it was involving the
Electromagnetic.
hand in that situation.
And so when it's in that right frequency, that magnetic frequency that is created, it creates that neutral. It brings it to what it's supposed to be. Your body is supposed to be at a 7.5, at a neutral pH, but we eat meat
Soda,
and
red
toxic
meat.
and things, and so when your pH is crazy, that's where illness is born. And that's when this energy kind of traps in you because you're more susceptible to that because you're vibrating in a
But he helps get that out though.
well, the biomagnetic therapy. That was I think that was the catalyst to all of this. That's really what introduced him into this whole world. And it does go hand in hand into what he does now.
But what happens when you hear somebody using drugs, medicine, or Reiki, or any kind of therapy? You help the people to feel better. You can kill bacteria and the person coming to be healthy again. But what happened? I'm finding that's not the principal reason why the people get sick. Why the people get sick? Because they're in stress. Stress, depression. You can help somebody, but the energy, I mean, negative energy is inside your body. In 2, 3 months, 6 months, you will get in depression again. And the cells of the immune system will be getting depression. If you don't have the army defend you against the virus, bacteria, you will get sick again. When they help people with cancer, the cancer is a very bad feeling. It's emotion of the sufrimiento. Suffering, emotion. You can use chemotherapy or another kind of therapies, okay, fine. But you don't fix the trap emotion is inside the body. You don't take it out, the person is going to come back to get sick. So that's why I want to share today, taking the opportunity and say thank you, because my mission is share information. Be in love, change your life.
Just be love.
You know, watch what you're eating.
Unconditional love, self-love.
You drink
528 hertz.
Do you drink
love.
water? Do you drink the right water?
Not what you got, because I know you got some special juice.
So, to be healthy,
that
is not
Chinese
one
water.
thing. It's not one pill. It's not one therapy. It's change couple habits.
Change your habits.
Correct.
The habit. And change what
The
you're thinking. Very important. The problem today is the people just think too much. You're thinking, and you're always busy.
Yeah, I'm tired of y'all telling me this, man. Every person keeps telling me I'm thinking too much. But it's funny because like my life is like more relaxed now than it's ever.
You're living in the future and you're living in the past.
Yeah,
But like my life right now is like honestly like more relaxed and chill than it's ever been. But y'all keep telling
but that
me.
doesn't mean we don't see that you're overthinking.
Oh,
You know?
I'm definitely
Because
overthinking.
it's all about the sweet juiciness of nowness. It's the nowness of life.
And gratitude. Living in the moment.
They call it.
I do, but apparently I'm not doing a good enough job. I'm gonna have to read Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now again. It's been a while.
Just listen
So
to
you
yourself.
had session number 1, and he told you you need 4. So I think that is going to be a lot easier for you to do in the next coming weeks.
Yeah, will be a transformation in your life.
Yes. When you
Soon,
have these
when you
emotions
reconnect your
released.
heart to the brain, you will change. Many things is going to change. You can get a surprise out of that.
I believe it. The heart is the most powerful organ other than the brain, maybe. The brain even stays alive once the heart dies, right?
The heart is that is it. The heart is it.
It's the first organ
That's
in the
one.
embryo.
But doesn't the
Embryo?
brain stay
No.
alive for a little bit after the heart
That's
goes?
only
All the
because
information,
that's
all the
just-
So
information.
yeah.
what he was explaining to you yesterday.
the heart is
so
more powerful than anything.
when an embryo is developing in the womb, the heart is the first organ that's created. And so have you ever stopped to think, okay, a sperm and an egg meet and it becomes clusters of cells. How do those cells know? Because it's just an egg and a sperm. How do they know these bunches of cells are going to become skin? This is going to become hair. This is going to be an eyeball. This is going to be a full functioning liver. It's the heart. It's the first organ that's created. It's the director of the orchestra. It is what's sending out that information to the body to say. And so when you, like he's saying, if your heart is disconnected, if you've suffered something tragic in your life, and your body has a defense mechanism, it'll almost disconnect your heart from your mind, and that's where these heart walls come into play. That's why he's telling you we need to reconnect your heart. So you've suffered something throughout your life that your heart has disengaged, and you need to reconnect it back.
And before I met him, I was told that by the Enchanted Raven. The first time I got my first tarot card reading, she told me that. And then the next day, I had another psychic reading, and she also told me that. But the psychic lady told me that the first time it happened it was 9 years old. So then it sent me on a storm trying to figure it out. Like, that 9 years, that's a long time ago. Like, that's 32 years ago. Like, how am I supposed to remember this? But
No, but
what
your
triggered
brain
me...
sometimes wants you to forget it, and that's a
Yeah.
defense mechanism. But that emotion is not. Just
Nah,
because you
it's
forget
not
it
gone.
doesn't mean it's gone.
Yeah,
And I realized
they're just
that,
buried alive.
yeah. But the thing is, I figured it out like within a day because all the pieces of the puzzle added up. Like, I think I explained this in another podcast, but basically, the Enchanted Raven had a book in her house called the Shack, and I never heard of it before, but apparently a lot of people know about this except me. Even my daughter knew about it. And anyway, so I went home and watched the movie that night, and the whole concept was about that incident that I had when I was 9 years old. It was about the main guy's story. His youngest daughter had got kidnapped and killed. He took her he took his family on like a camping trip in the woods. But that's not the part that's about me. The part about me is that his father, his father was an alcoholic, and his father beat up on him and his mother, and he never like reconciled with him before he died. He always had that anger in his heart, and he was the same way. He was depressed. He couldn't talk. His whole family disconnected because of that whole energy that was stuck in his body for all them years. And that's what the movie's kind of about. Like, they have these characters that play God, Jesus, and Mother Mary,
Well,
I
and in
guess.
her session, we were talking too, sometimes when a mother is pregnant and suffers through something traumatic or an emotion, that baby
Every
is part
time,
of her.
not sometimes, everything, all the time.
Sometimes you see,
The wound-diverse,
That's
Russia, the
it, that's
wound-diverse.
it, that's it.
Right, you know, and this is, you could tell me if I'm right or wrong, but sometimes when you have little kids that have cancer or something like that, that could have been
Oh,
something
yeah,
that,
from the mother.
Yeah, it's you're talking about the cancer, right? In the
Un
families?
niño que tenga cáncer, que a lo
Yeah.
mejor es por
Okay.
en el
It's
vientre de la mamá.
scientific, Bruce Lipton. I don't know if you listen about him.
Bruce Lipton? I know who Bruce Lipton is.
Bruce Lipton is one of the pioneers in stem cells.
Mm-hmm.
He explained, it's a family, okay, and this family history is a cancer family history, and you bring one child has no history in cancer in his family, and this family adopt him. When this child get in the energy house in turn, he got a lot of chance to get sick with cancer. And inverse, when somebody coming from the history family with cancer, coming to a nice place when there are a lot of love, God believe,
Healed.
the chances to get cancer disappear because they explain design now they find the illness, the cancer is information in the energy camp with the gene. Is that right? The gene?
The gene, the
The
energy.
gene, yeah.
It's the
DNA.
information. Is what you eat, how you think.
Of course. We raise our vibration, we lower. We listen to negative music, we lower our vibe. We listen to meditation music, we raise our vibe. We eat red meat, we eat fast food, we lower our vibe. We drink good water, we raise our vibe. It's pretty simple for anybody to understand.
But the more important thing, I believe, is what you think. My life changed a lot when I reconnect my heart to my brain. I start feeling different way to see the life.
Of course.
I can watch a bear and just stay like.
That's what we call it. That's what we call the spiritual awakening. That's what happened to me also.
That's what Wayne Dyer say. You are an inspiration. And I remember he say, when you are an inspiration, don't be afraid about nothing. Don't be afraid about money. So that's why people told me you're crazy to come back to Lima, Peru after 31 years living in America. Aren't you crazy? I say, I don't know. Something just let me go with that.
The
I have to
spirit led
go.
you to go back
I
home.
can't explain. So
I feel the same way right now about what I'm doing in my life. Like, my spirit's leading me back home to Chicago too. So like, I feel like I'm out of place in Florida.
Well, here we thought we were meeting yesterday, so he can do
Yeah.
a session, but in reality, he was led to go.
I'm
see
here not by
Michael.
coincidence.
Oh, nothing in life's coincidence. Everything happens for a reason, in divine timing and order too. Definitely,
Always.
we've all lived that to recognize that.
Always.
So let me ask you this: like, since we're having this is the 239 Spiritual Awakening podcast, have you ever experienced what we call the Kundalini Awakening?
Okay,
I don't know what how to translate that, but what
The
do we
Kundalini
I
Awakening.
guess that's a no.
The Kundalini
No.
awakening.
Kundalini.
Oh, yes,
Kundalini.
I-
He knows Kundalini.
Yeah.
You know Kundalini.
When did you ask him, has he had experience?
Que si tú lo has experienciado, que si tú has tenido esa experiencia del Kundalini Awakening.
Kundalini Awakening. I don't remember. I listened something on my live and video, but I don't exactly know what it is.
All right, well, it's involving energy, from my experience. Rashima could tell you hers, but the experience I did the first time I ever meditated in my life was when I experienced it.
Well,
That's
okay.
when I knew, like, that's the spirit. Like, so what happened was when your spirit awakens, like, the experience for me was like all my energy in my body turned into a wave from my head to my feet, and it lasted for like 5 minutes. It was just, you could feel like
El
all.
momento que te sentiste como inspirado o despierto en tu entendimiento, que él tuvo un sentido de conexión.
Yes, he
It's,
knows.
I,
He knows.
my next step is practice the meditation to grow more. But I remember when 5-6 years ago, I had one experience when I was learning to meditation by myself. So one moment I was like just meditating, silence in my house, in my room, and just in one moment I start feeling. I go, wow, what is this? You know?
Alignment.
That's what happened to me. Yeah.
It's just I'm enjoying. I can't say the word what I feel.
Bliss,
you know?
bliss,
Don't say
love,
So I get
I
stuck,
don't want to hear my dad
you know?
say it.
orgasmic,
Well, that you say.
orgasmic.
I'll say it for you.
Sex, God, love. Sex, God, love.
You wouldn't be here if
So,
it wasn't for orgasm.
I get stuck. I cannot move it. I cannot get away from
Me
that
neither.
situation. What like this? So I had to just do. I scared, you know.
Me
It
too.
was my first time, so I just pushed myself. And I wake up, you know. After that, I say, oh man, I stopped.
Don't be
meditation.
afraid.
But somebody told me, at that moment you connect with the canal.
Right.
You
That's what
connect the
happened to
canal.
me last
From
year.
that, from that day, my life started changing.
Exactly. That's when that's the Kundalini awakening is when it
But it
happens.
doesn't happen just once.
Well, no, because once you could train to manipulate the energy
I
of your
see.
body.
See,
which
there
is
you go. You're overthinking. It's not a training. It's not a manipulation. It's nothing to do. It's just to be. You just be, and you're aligned, and it happens on its own. These things aren't happening because we're making them happen.
Correct. I agree with that. I agree with that.
But
So-
my next step is maybe start doing more meditation. I receive message. I receive message from I have to erase my spiritualism. Before I a person I love, how you say, no me gusta relucir mucho, sino ser como no hacer mucha bulla. O sea, en lo que yo perfil bajo, un perfil bajo. How
He
you say that
likes
in
to
English?
be low profile. He doesn't like to be very showy and
I never want to see me a beat or I mean like a
humble.
healer.
He's humble.
Right.
I very simple.
Humilde.
I believe like Jesus said, you know. Somebody asked Jesus, somebody tell Jesus, you do miracles, Master. You make miracles. I say, and Jesus Christ answered, you can do same like me or better than me.
Right.
Anybody can be a healer.
Everybody is a healer.
Everybody. So just we have to grow our dawns. Where everybody is same. But when you put the pants and say, well, I want to help people, you have to be, some special people maybe, you know? Because a lot of people just point finger and say, you're crazy, you know? In
Right.
Peru, the doctor, psychiatrist, psychologist, they say, he's a liar. He's a crazy, he's liar.
But you've had some doctors that
I
have.
know, many, I get in the hospitals. I had 2 years, every day from Monday to Saturday, with patients in the hospital of Lima. The City Hall of Lima hired me.
Health is ready for.
Yeah, see, that's
So
what I
they
like
open
about having
it.
someone from a different country on the podcast, because like Westerners don't get to experience things, and like
Right,
they don't
right,
understand
right.
like in the East and other places of the world, like this stuff is kind of normal, but when you get here, it's taboo. It's like they think we crazy, and like we start telling people we're seeing things when we meditate, we see signs, and we see our spirit guides or whatever you want to call it. They think we're crazy, and it's like.
But the new knowledge today is we are going to get the hospitals. I was in Peru. Now I come back to America, and my mission is not done. And we get it because the future is medicine. The future is amazing. It's going back to the past.
Right, which
the
I'm in. I'm
energy.
in the natural herbal business of healing. So I agree. I mean, on that note, I'll just say, I don't want to dive too deep, but marijuana will eventually be legal again federally in this whole country.
And it's helping a lot of people now.
Yeah. And we're going back to pre-1938 when it was legal, because now we got all these problems with these prescription pills, and we got these rappers dying every other week from overdosing on pills, and depression and anxiety is constant conversation, especially with young people. So it's coming back. I think, recreational and medical marijuana is probably at the forefront, but meditation is already making a movement into public schools right now.
Young kids that are delving into drugs, you have to see why. You look back and it's emotional. There's something they're trying to hide and mask, having the feeling being high is hiding an emotional issue there. So it all stems back to this. And so he's helped a lot of people that have been suffering, addicts, drug addicts, alcoholics, suicidal. He's had a lot of patients
All
that
this
have been
emotion.
suicidal.
People is not happy right now because when you go to the school, what do you learn in the school?
In public schools?
You don't learn nothing about who you are.
Of course not.
We lost the spirituality. We lost the spirituality. We are now, it's just everything material life. But what about us? About our powers, about
our true self.
be happy.
I agree.
It's too much stress. People is dying because they are unhappy. It's emotional. So that's why I'm glad and I say thank you for giving me this opportunity.
We
because
thank you
I
for
know
coming.
we want
So
to
now we
teach
get to tell our experiences and our testimony now. So that's
Okay,
so.
go.
Testimonio.
All right. So what I experienced when you put the sound bowl on my chest and you start working the sound bowl, I'm like really into sound. Sound bowls is like my next wave of things to get into. I'm gonna buy one for Christmas.
Cuando le pusiste arriba de su pecho.
Yeah.
So when you put the sound bowl on my chest, like I can feel like my whole head, like my eyes, everything was like twitching.
But
Like
you put magnets on him too, right? A magneto?
There's one magnet to push
So
the
there was
energy.
also a magnet on your chest.
yeah, because
But
it felt.
You wanna know what happens? The cuenco. We say cuenco. How is it?
Cuenco is what that bowl is called.
It's
Okay.
a cuenco.
Cuenco.
The cuenco is a 5,000 years or more when they find it in Tibet.
In Tibet.
In Tibet? Okay. The cuenco, what the cuenco do is a combination of 7 metals. When you're making sound, it's the same sound with the universe. That vibration, okay, help your body, all the molecules of water, get in the same vibration with the universe because your body recognizes that sound. If you put a microphone in the universe, everything is moving. The sound is,
I am.
so that's main change. That's when I put that is to help you to get in good
Okay,
vibration.
now let him finish his testimony.
Yeah, so that was the first thing I felt. It's like my whole head was kind of vibrating and like my eyes was twitching. I never experienced anything like that. Like I've had other experiences like the Kundalini awakening where your energy flows like water through your whole body, but never with like my head vibrating. It was kind of strange, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm going somewhere with this experience and we'll figure it out. The next experience I had was like my left arm was kind of falling asleep. And you get that feeling where it's like you kind of stop the feeling in it, and you start the tingling in your feelings. So like I moved my arm to my chest, and like I could still feel like the molecules. And I put it to my chest, and then I can almost feel like the energy transferring from my arm to like my chest and my body. So those are the now my neck has been hurting since I came back from up north for like a week now, and I can say my neck feels fine today, and I slept really well. So I will say there's been some changes since I got the experience
That's
yesterday.
emotions that are trapped in your muscles. It's
Mm-hmm.
causing that pain, that ache.
Yeah. So.
A lot
And
of
did you
tension
sleep
in
well
your
last
shoulders.
night?
Yeah, I
Did you
slept
sleep-
well last night. Definitely slept well last night. So I know I'll have more experiences as the days go by till we meet again, and then I'll see. But I also learned a lot of things. I think that was the best part of the experience for me is when he started telling me that I have like 53 different entities around me. Now I know I have entities and spirits
No,
around me.
around. Inside.
In me. Oh wow. In me.
In.
That's a lot of entities inside of me. I've been possessed by somebody. But I knew I
Spit and split pea soup now.
yeah, they really trying to take my soul up out of me, I guess. But that's a lot. That's a lot of entities inside of me. The other thing I think you were telling me about, like the different trapped emotions in the part of the body where they go to, that's very important too, because it makes sense. You know, my pops had cancer. He died at 57. My grandfather, his father had cancer and died in his 50s. Uh-oh, I'm over here pressing buttons, probably doing something. But anyway, so like when you talked about cancer, I know where you're going for. I know you're going with it. But in this, on the cancer note, and then we'll switch to Rashimba's testimonial. We treated my father with CBD oil like 6 months before he passed away. And like 2 or 3 weeks before he passed away, his cancer went into remission. So that's my moment that triggered me to dive straight into the healing work of the CBD oil right now, because I truly believe like that the CBD oil is it cures everything.
Oh, it's an ancient plant.
Yeah, I just believe, you know, even in the Bible, in the Torah, whatever you want to call it, the Torah, the Torah, the Old Testament, Exodus 30:23, God tells us about how to make the anointing oil, and one of the 5 things in anointing oil is a word called cannabinol. And you know, some people, depending on who you want to believe the translation, I'm gonna ask y'all, some people believe the original Hebrew word is cannabis, but some people say it's the calamine plant. I personally believe it's cannabis because I know hemp, cannabis, so many things you can make out of it and all the healing properties it has. So that's my thing. So I'm gonna turn it over to you now. And I smell some good cannabis right now coming from somewhere, but
Don't we just love that scent?
somebody's getting cured and healed somewhere, but
We love the fragrance of cannabis, yes.
So how was your experience?
Well, my experience is still very, very fresh, and it was very simplistic. He didn't have the external tools, but I trust completely because that was it. Yes, it's all in divine order. So the original tool is just connection to the spirit. So it was definitely very relaxing. I was just open and clear and allowing. I didn't feel anything other. I felt some release in my kidney area. So that's pretty much it. But I'm sure that things will unfold and
Well, I think compared to other patients that he's been, he did mention that you were a very happy person, that you didn't seem to have a lot of, you weren't holding on to.
I'm pretty clean and clear.
Yeah.
So.
And we discussed a few things that you had agreed, and we kind of chuckled on a few things that you agreed on, but in most part, yeah.
But
But
overall,
you be a superpower girl, so you connect your heart to her.
yes.
Align yourself with superpowers. Find your soul tribe, man.
And the superpower is the heart. It's love.
Yeah, because
it's love.
we're talking about energy.
Yeah,
okay.
love.
What made me be a healer? Because to say that I take a long time to accept this. You can be a healer. You can just pray for somebody and change the energy of the person. So anybody can do this. I hope all the humanity one day.
I was a bad healer for 20 plus years. That's how I met Grizel when I was a DJ. I found out how I could manipulate thousands.
I worked every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, every Easter till 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
I think everyone innately is a healer. I mean, we were born in, everything is regenerative. I mean, the body was born to heal and to regenerate and to restore, and that's what we are to do as well. I think we have to meet the first healer, which is self. Everything is about self. So even in consciousness, we come, consciousness descends and then we are to ascend. So everything is about the circle, the circulation of it. So everyone is a healer. Everyone may not have awakened to their healing calling because it begins with self-love. And then once that happens,
But
then...
I know you believe that everyone is connected, and so the
absolutely.
people who really need someone healing, my dad, it's no coincidence that he's here. And Jason, through me, and that Jason and I's relationship
There's
go back
no coincidence.
so
Absolutely.
it's all connected.
Yeah, and we are mirrors of one another. So even if, yes, he may be a healer, but he may not be aware of it. But then it takes an aware person to turn on that switch, and then boom, and then it, it's that, like, teach a person to fish, and then they can. But it's just, tuning into what is already there.
Yeah, I had too many testimonies in South America, in Lima, Peru, hospitals. What the regular doctor, they cannot help the people. They come to my consultory. When I change the energy, when I make the cleanup of the body, the problem disappears. And that was
energy,
I mean,
right?
it's amazing. But
I think the biggest thing, I'm going to cut you off, but I think the biggest thing we need to get out of this podcast is like depression, anxiety, overdosing off of pills and pharmaceuticals is a huge issue right now in America, especially with young people searching out, and they don't know these holistic other ways of healing themselves. This is why we exist, to do this podcast, to try to get this out, because they're dying.
It won't hurt you. It's not like you can take a pill and it can have a side effect. There is no side effect to this, so why not try? At least be open-minded and try. But that's the thing, you have to be open-minded that it will work, because if you're going into a session like this and you're already saying, I don't believe in this, isn't going to work. I mean, you're making his job harder, and you're not. So you almost have to come in with an open mind.
Well, whatever you say is right. If you believe it, then that's what it is. You're
you create your reality. Absolutely.
There's a lot of skeptics out there who probably going to see this and still not going to believe, but that's why we want to invite you. Why Mr. Francisco is in Southwest Florida. If you're in Southwest Florida right now, it's Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Bonita, Naples, Lehigh, wherever you at, and you want to get if you really want to prove the theory, now's your opportunity to. Yeah, you got nothing to lose. So let us know how you can your father can be contacted, and then if he wants to close that.
He has all his social media. It's all in Spanish, so we'll work on getting him going again in English. But he has lots of testimonies that people can actually go on and see videos of people posting their own testimony in South America.
So you'll get us his contact information. But in the meantime, leave your comments or requests for your interest in comments, because this is going on Facebook, right? This is Facebook, YouTube, wherever. Just let us know you're interested, and we'll make sure that you have the contact information. And once we get all of the information, we'll make sure we post the link.
Yeah, all the information will be in the details by the time this video gets posted.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's right below us. Just look at the description box. So. I just suggest, I think in my closing statements, everybody can close out how they want to. I just think that, from what I'm seeing, and I just said this, is I think we're about to go through a paradigm shift. And I think, the more of these celebrities that's still trying to push the agenda to be hooked on Percocets and Molly's, I think the veil is thinning, and I think there's going to be more consciously woke people like us who are going to fight back and balance things out to tell this is, there's an alternative to this, and you can heal yourself naturally. You don't need to go, swallow 10 pills and then, live miserably. That's not the answer to the case. And I know a lot of people like that, so this is why we exist. We're the other side. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of rappers out there like us, but that's why we have this podcast. So it is not just rappers. I don't want to just put it on but the music industry, the entertainment industry, the whole veil is going to be thin in Hollywood. They can't run it high forever. So I mean, it's balance. Everything in life, the earth, Gaia works. You need negative and positive to balance everything out, and we just here to be that positive side. So that's what I'll close. We can go around the room. Whoever wants to go next.
Anything you want to say?
I think if you're tuning into this video and you're watching this video, there's a reason that you're watching this video, and
It's for you.
And it's for you. And if you're depressed or you're holding on to resentment, you're in a negative relationship you can't get out, you're suffering through addiction, there's help, and this is an option, and contact us. And
Yeah, thank you, James, for this opportunity, because what I like to do, I enjoy what I do, I like to share information and help people, Don't feel bad, don't suffer. We can change the life. I believe in big changes. I start smoking in 5 seconds. I can believe you can quit smoking in just 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
It's a decision.
Right.
That's it. But you have to get strong. You have to clean emotions. You have to reconnect the heart and come back to the essence.
The essence, yes.
Essence.
Yes.
And just grow like a human being. Like when we born, the scientific say the blueprint, we born in the right vibration. We're happy. It's like Jesus says to people, the people going to get in the sky, in the paradise, it has to be feel like a kid and think like a kid. Don't miss your kid, it's inside you. You do very good.
Yes.
You really doing very good.
So,
Everybody says I've only been on a spiritual awakening for a little over a year now. So
Yes.
like I'm the newest of our tribe, and everybody tells me I'm growing like expeditiously. And it's funny because like everybody in our tribe have been on this journey for like 20 plus years, and I've only been on and I was chosen to be the conduit to put everybody together.
you're the promoter.
One more thing. If you want to get change in your life, if you want to get abundance, money, you got to get in love, abundance. You want to get in love, you want to change your life, you want to be healthy, just vibrate. Just vibrate, and everything is coming to you. So you was vibrating good, you was looking, that's why
Brave.
the connection. He was looking for the change, and you
Oh
need
yeah, you know
something.
what happened? I'm gonna tell you what happened, and I guess that's a good segue. What happened for me is I found out I was pre-diabetic, and I was like, I'm too young.
What
I'm
did
too
he
young.
say to you yesterday when you told him that?
Well, I know it's BS, but at the same time, I know I wasn't eating healthy. I was eating a lot of fast food, eating a lot of sweets, drinking a lot of soda. I wasn't healthy at all. So that's what it took. And I had already made up in my mind, like, if I don't start living healthy, I might have to go vegan. I already put that thought in my brain, like I have to do something because like diabetes runs on both sides of my family, high blood pressure, all of that crap. And I'm like, my pops didn't make it past 57. His father didn't make it. I'm like, I got to break the cycle. I got to be around more than 57 years old for my kids. So I'm like, it's time now. I need to start changing my diet. I need to start, the spiritual awakening just hit me. I didn't even ask for it. It was just a process, and then it just hit me. But all at that same exact time, I changed my eating. I start jogging every day, walking every day, being out in nature every day. And that's when it all came tumbling down.
In essence, you got out of your own way.
Right.
So
yeah.
you could.
Do you know what Bruce Lipton says about if you want to cure yourself, what you have to do? He say, get in love.
Get in love.
Love it.
Well,
and that's all I want to say.
here's my thing.
Love.
I'm an Aries man. I've been told like us Aries men, we have the love of 10 men. So, I mean, I would love to be in love, but
Be in love with self first.
I'm in love with self.
Get in love with yourself.
I'm in love. I'm gonna
Deeper.
save that for your podcast. I'm gonna go deeper.
Deeper love of self.
And forgot about
Intimacy.
what the doctor tell you. You're pre-diabetic. Forget that. Don't believe.
Oh well.
Just believe you healthy man.
Right.
And just make that declaration every day.
No.
Change your habit, change the food, drink good water, good thinking, be
Speak
happy,
as if
and
you
that's
were
it.
healthy.
Yeah, and I haven't been to the doctor since last February.
And
so.
all of that is just, all of what you just said is just a memory.
So you
So
wake
it's
up
just a
in the
memory.
morning
It's
and
a,
you say, thank you, God, for the health that I have, the abundance and all the abundance that's coming to me and the health, you wake up and you be
effort,
grateful,
affirm.
affirm that you are healthy. Because if you keep saying, the doctor told me I'm pre-diabetic,
Oh,
you're creating that. You're
No,
creating,
I don't
you're
even
putting
pray
energy
like
to
that.
that.
I don't even pray. I don't even pray
no.
like that.
But the thing is, what we don't realize is that every word we speak is a prayer.
Is a prayer.
Everything, people think that prayer is only whatever they see in the Christian, but every word we speak is a prayer.
Right.
So whenever you're repeating that, you just said 3 times since we've been here, the memory of so everything you put out there is returning. So, so we have to, essentially, we have to stop telling the same stories. We have to stop repeating the stories.
You know why? Because this
The subconscious, because
he's a
the
computer.
yes.
He don't have feelings. Yeah,
Yes,
he listens
it is
to you,
impersonal.
and
It is
He
impersonal.
listens to you and he say, "Oh, that's what you want." And you
That's
go,
what it's going to give you.
Okay,
Right.
take this.
So you just repeated it 3 times since we've been here. So stop telling the same stories. So just create a new way to say it. Let's use our words as the prayer. So for things that we are
It's like a
bringing
vision
to us,
board.
it's
Every
what we're
day, a
bringing
spoken
to us.
vision board.
Yeah. So every word we speak is a prayer.
Yeah, I'm in a good place right now. So.
Good.
Maybe you
You've
have to
come a
think.
long way. I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, the devil had me working
I
for
have
his team for
stories.
yeah.
That's another
The
podcast.
devil had me working for 20 plus years, and God came and got me back.
This song with the guy, "Don't Worry, Be Happy."
Yes.
Yeah, Bobby
You have to
McFerrin.
sing every day.
I'm not worried. I'm in the best, probably the best position I've been in. So definitely the best position I've been in. Let me reword my words.
Now you're gonna think about it every
Yeah.
time you speak.
That's right.
She reminds
Awareness.
me. I swear.
Awareness.
She's
As long as you
constantly on me.
correct it, as long as you correct it.
That's it.
All right, so we're gonna link Mr. Francisco's info to contact. He's gonna be in town for a while if you want to get a session with him. We both had great experiences. I learned some things that I did not know, some things I knew, but to I guess expand on those things I knew to things I didn't know. So I think that's it.
Yes,
Podcast
yes,
number
wonderful.
12 is done. It's a 12/12 tomorrow. So the full moon is gonna hit, so that means you got to get rid of all of the energy that you don't want and all the things that don't serve your best interest, from what I understand with full moons, right? So let them things go.
Well, the full moon is really the fruition, like that's your harvest. The full moon represents your harvest, like that's the new moon is when you're like your intention, and then the full moon, and then after the harvest, then you start releasing when it starts waning into the new moon. So yes.
There you go. So tap in. The portal's gonna be wide open. You experiencing a spiritual awakening, and you resonate with what we do. And even if you don't, we glad you tuned in. All our listeners, we appreciate y'all every Thursday, 7 p.m.
We love you.
And we're gonna be doing a lot more because 2020 we going into a new year, and it's our call, and we gotta fight. It's a spiritual war. So I mean, this is our duty. We gotta.
We not fighting, we loving. Ain't no spiritual war. Ain't no war. We ain't claiming no war. This is love.
We win the war with love. See, I gotta reword my words, man. I got you with me every week. There we go. So on that note, we out of here till
Peace
next
and
Thursday.
love.
I always say
Thank you.
namaste. Thank you. Bless up. Till next week.